Hi Libra, welcome into your mid-July 2023 Money and Career Tarot reading. I hope you're doing absolutely amazing. We're going to begin and speak upon the three tea leaf oracles that I pre-pulled for you, and then we'll move on to the watercolor tarot. But we're beginning with marriage. So the remainder of July definitely highlights the fact that you're very committed to one, if not multiple, situations of importance. Now, it could be naturally a commitment to paying your bills on time, making sure to maintain a roof over your head, right, or your loved ones, or I should say for you and potentially as well your loved ones. Anyways, but I'm more so speaking upon career, right? If it's a business, a job, if not multiple of what I just mentioned. Wouldn't be surprised if the Librans drawn to the reading like myself are running from one situation to the next, balancing things out, or just maybe working them, putting effort towards them on separate days of the remainder of the month. But either way, it does feel like as well, spirit might highlight or something might remind you of a broken, I'm hearing promise or broken commitment, if you will. Say it was a job that you left. Okay, I'm getting randomly somebody you work with might remind you of somebody you dated or a friend you once had that you are no longer connected to for one, if not multiple reasons. But putting that aside, I feel as if it's important for you not to get distracted. Delays will happen purposely and just randomly, so you got to just kind of have patience and adapt and roll with it. But don't get distracted because I feel like you have a lot going on, a lot to stay committed to. All right, it's up to you to get it done. But I feel like, and you will, but it's a matter of staying grounded and balanced and managing your time wisely. It's one of those kind of time periods for Libras drawn to the reading where there isn't a ton of time to dilly-dally or just wait around or lack motivation, I want to say. Dig for that motivation if need be, because you'll thank yourself in the end when something is wrapped up and accomplished and potentially benefits you passively, I want to say, or just in general. Anyways, I'm hearing you will see the rewards. The egg card, talking about success assured with good plans and hard work. This coming through in two ways. Now, for the majority of which onto the reading, it's solely talking about, when you're planning out your work day or work week or the remainder of your month, making sure to get things done in the right manner and at an appropriate pace, in a timely fashion to the point where it gets done on time. You meet the deadline or you don't have to stress over it, or by a specific period, right? It reminds me of me. I have to sort of plan out when I'm going to do the readings to an extent so that I don't miss a set of weekly reads, right? Or miss the monthly readings mid-month, you name it. Now, on the other end, this applying to select Librans drawn to the reading, there's an egg to be hatched in the future, an assured plan for you, something you've set your mind on, regardless of whether you see this clearly now or not. Or you could have partial solidifying in your mind in regards to what that is for you, right? Maybe you're sort of still weighing out the pros and cons, but I do sense that Spirit's saying, well, there is success assured with good plans, planning things out, ahead of time, strategically saving up the money that you need if need be, or around there to put in the hard work and do your research consistently or just when need be to make sure you're not settling for less all the meanwhile, because sometimes that can lead you in the wrong direction, down the wrong path, or with certain unnecessary difficulties. It's coming up for a reason, but they're showing that egg cracking, and it's a golden egg, all right? And that golden egg will crack for you when the time is right. So just keep that in mind when there's certain imperfections or slow-paced times for you within your career, or just when you're not loving where you're living, you name it. It could be a multitude of things for you, but there is success now in the remainder of July and even more so lying ahead. But they're saying it's different types of success for you, further down your path. But you have a bright future. Now, the third of which that we're going to speak upon before we move on to the tarot, target. A goal-oriented person. Now that egg absolutely could be the target they're speaking upon, but in a smaller sense, right? Or even a medium sense, breaking it down. You have a lot of goals, right? I want to reach this amount of subscribers or this amount of growth and progression for my business. I want to get this business off the ground and take steps towards, it blowing up for me. Or I want to blow up this business in general. I want to make this amount of money, right? I want to save this amount of money throughout the remainder of July so that I can feel good about stepping into, the next month and do it all over again or make even more, right? The ability to succeed is yours for the taking is what I just heard. I love that. And I do feel as if being drawn to this reading, you're being reminded as a Libra in general, but just you as a soul, you are, again, a goal-oriented person to an extent, if not fully, in your own individual way. But when you want to hit that target, when you want to make something happen, it could be multiple targets. Aren't you going to do it? Right? Either way, regardless of what people say, what difficulties come into play, even if you aim for the target and you miss by a bit or even a lot, aren't you going to try and hit it again? Shouldn't you? So I just feel like that needs to be reminded to you. Interesting. To continue for my lovely Librans. Coming out, we have Page of Pentacles. You could have already began this new job or moved into this new place of residence, or it could be a different type of investment, but this could be more in regards to you just now stepping into it. It could be, you thinking about already wrapping up something that you began or beginning. I'm hearing short-lived, so don't, kind of a temporary vibe, so don't stress the small stuff or the imperfections. That could be more than one situation. But again, I do feel like that egg that's going to crack, open up for you in a beautiful way with a lot of abundance flowing out of the egg is what I'm getting. They keep going with that imagery. Again, that target that you will hit the bullseye for. It feels like a new investment and or a new job, or it could be one that leads to the other, right? You could get a new job and then it pushes you to move to a new place of residence, or you could get you could move to a new place far away or just even closer by, and then you get a new job because of it for one, if not multiple reasons. So of course it's going to be different for everybody, but it's this feeling of you making new money. All right, there could be passive income for some, but I sense that you are making new money at a continuing situation, or new money in a new situation, or both. But I feel as if I need to remind you, Libra, please put your money aside, even the small amounts. Like I typically, when I serve, and I know that obviously the majority of which are not going to be servers, I save the bigger bills, right? And I spend the smaller ones, and that's just how I end up saving up quite quickly. But because my current serving job isn't as lucrative as some of the others I've had in a different state, at a different location up in Boston, I feel that it's going to be truly important. I'm going to get the push by spirit to even put some of the smaller bills aside and spend a lot less and watch it save up, even still not as quickly as it once would have at a different position, different place. But they're saying find your own way to see things add up. Okay, it may not be exactly like that. I guarantee it probably won't. But not overspending, giving up certain habits, and they're showing scissors, kind of a Queen of Swords vibe. Cut it out, okay? And watch things add up. Savings in different forms is what I'm hearing. Seven of Cups. You're going to be reminded you have a lot of options in regards to whatever you want to invest in. Begin moving forward. I do sense that you're having to multitask, prioritize, a lot to accomplish. I'm a Libra. I will take charge. Even if it's not within your title, your weird how I looked at you. Even if it's not your position per se, there's a sense of you taking initiative, being responsible, mature, inspirational, pushing people to do what they got to do, or just coming up with an idea or creative solutions. And this is helpful, whether people take it or not. I just feel like you are motivational. You're a leader. Okay. People like, I want to say a boss figure, coworkers, customers, clientele potentially, will, even viewers will look at you for even online or even in person with admiration in their eyes, and even a little bit of curiosity, or a lot of which confusion, that mystery about you as a Libra. Impressed. It's like, you bring value to the table. This came up in a weekly read recently for you. I do sense that there are times in the remainder of the month where there's a spurt of energy. You can thank Spirit for that. Or it could be, you know, due to you drinking a Red Bull or specifically energy consumption, right? But I feel like if you're not, it's not just out of the blue randomly, right? I mean, it kind of is, but it's a spirit, if not multiple, being like, Libra, we know you need it. You're very tired, you're busy. But please make sure you're not consuming, not over giving into temptation that costs you money especially, or dampers the quality of your work potentially. Don't overwork yourself. But I feel like that was a waste of my breath, because I feel like you're going to either way. And those of which who notice or remember that somebody is not a healthy energy to associate yourself with at work and or at home, then what are we going to do? Do our best to steer clear. Not always that easy, right? Black and white, cut and dry, but do your best. How somebody manages is just baffling to you. That's not obviously not for everybody, but it's just like, you may not even think they're a bad person. You might even kind of like them, but then for some, like myself, it's like one manager you like more than the other, but they both have different styles of managing, but neither of which you feel are accurate or good for that place, or just very efficient. Anyways, it's like, just take the good with the bad, right? Just do what you got to do and separate work from home. Just, yeah. I'm also hearing don't rush. Don't rush. I mean, you can do things quickly without rushing, right? And so that's going to be key for you. The weather change will affect your mood as well, randomly, and potentially how much money you make. So keep that in mind. Check the weather. Flying out the Four of Swords, needing to rest, my friend. I know there's not going to be a lot of time for the majority drawn to the reading, but that will be of importance. A rest period at work might entail more work. In between, it's like you still will have to or will choose to stay busy. I do sense that in a commitment, if not multiple, and when it comes to a future one, you are protected, Libra. Please remember this, all right? It may not, the past or certain fears, doubts, what's at hand even might, what just occurred in that last moment, I'm getting specifically, it might leave you feeling like it's more like this, but you're protected, all right? Spiritually, and your intuition is more heightened than it once was. It's grown, all right? You're more efficient at putting it to use in a multitude of ways and steering clear of what's going to be dangerous or unhealthy or just not right for you. So that's going to help you. But yeah, I do feel like there's certain stresses. Could just be all that's on your plate. Could be energy, noise, spirituality, even all the meanwhile. Overworking yourself will leave you a bit more stressed. It's just the way it is. Let's pull one or two more before we wrap this up. Your goals are just consistently on your mind is what I'm hearing, or one in particular, but it could be a goal, if not multiple, that's supporting and leading you towards the completion, the hitting of that bullseye in a bigger way, right? In a bigger sense. Flopping out the Seven of Swords, keeping to yourself at certain points, but socializing, associating, vibing at other points. But it also feels like there's something, and it could be this. Nobody needs to know. Okay, nobody needs to know. I just sense that it's like, say it's a big shift in your career and you're one foot's out the door, right? And it's going to happen when it's meant to. Is it going to make sense to tell, your coworkers, who could potentially tell the boss or the bosses, right? Authority figures. Could be you want to move to a new place of residence and you're keeping it on the down low, at least for the most part, especially from those who would be very opinionated and maybe try to hold you back or wouldn't let go of the negatives that you have already parted ways with. Again, every situation has the good and the bad, right? The pros, the cons. So I feel like you're very much being reminded of this and will be in touch with that. But it feels like all the meanwhile, you're moving forth towards more fulfillment, more success, more increase. Protect your energy, please, at work, at home, you name it. But it feels like a lot's going to be coming towards you, but it will leave you with more success. A very productive remainder to your month, my friend, where your commitments again are taking a highlight. There's definitely success in the remainder of July, and more so moving forward once again, that is assured for you with hard work, plans, and trusting your Libran intuition all the meanwhile. And again, I feel the need to remind you, you will hit that target. And again, it could be multiple for some, all right? So I hope this was truly helpful. Sending you so much love and light. Go enjoy the remainder of July, and I'll definitely see you next time.